Hello and welcome to Youth in Sports, where every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. we feature special guests from near and far. The program is sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, providing certified athletic trainers to more than 30 area high schools and colleges. First State Orthopedics, the team taking care of Delaware with a commitment to excellence. And Wilmington University, where Youth in Sports is produced by the College of Technology's students and faculty. And now, from the studio at President Jack Barcelona's Wilmington University, your hosts for Youth in Sports, ALSSM Mr. Sports Medicine 2012, Dr. Michael Axe, UD and St. Elizabeth's own Dr. Joseph Strait, and co-founder of Youth in Sports, Mr. Walter Ladine.
Welcome to Youth in Sports. Tonight we have the AAU Boys and Girls Club 11th grade National Championship basketball team, the Sharks. I'm Dr. Michael Axe of First State Orthopedics.
I'm Dr. Joseph Strait, and it's a pleasure to have the national champions from 2013. This is the third national championship actually in the past 6 years, I think it is. So
yeah, from the Boys and Girls Clubs, and the leader of this pack of national champions is their coach, Amber Hickman Taylor, who is a mainstay at the Boys and Girls Club down in Bear, our Greater Newark Club, and the coach of the team, with many other associated coaches who have played and been famous in our area, including Jaquetta May, Kayla Miller, Tracy Howe, and I'm sure you can go into a bunch of other role models for these young ladies that went on and did all this. So you've getting kind of used to this, having been a player at Millersville, and like myself at Bucknell, we didn't win a whole lot. So it was, it's nice to have teams that we could be associated with. What did your teams do while you were there?
Millersville, we actually were pretty good. We had a couple 20-win seasons. We're PSAC East champs my junior year. Went to the NCAAs a couple times. So
yeah, Bucknell wasn't.
Now, Amber, are you Delaware?
I'm from Delaware. Yes.
Where'd you go to
Christiana High School?
Christiana.
Mm-hmm.
And many of her siblings have been very successful players, including and her dad as well, successful coach out there. All right, so you tell us a little bit about AAU for those people that don't know, and particularly how the Boys and Girls Club have gotten involved with this undertaking in a major way as part of their older students, the kids that we try to stay active from 15 to 18 with our teen programs and so forth. So just kind of take us through your role as a Boys and Girls Club administrator as well as the coach for the Sharks.
Okay, well, I'm the athletic director at our Greater Newark Club. We started our AAU programs about 13 years ago, boys and girls. And AAU is a traveling elite program. It's made up of mostly all-stars, kids that want to go on to play in college. And what we do is we have tryouts, and once they make the team, we travel pretty much all over the United States, playing March through July, and having the girls play together and boys play together. Get exposure is the main idea for them to get better and get exposure in front of college coaches. Like I said, we've had our program for 13 years. We've have 17 girls playing in college this year. We've had many to go on, everywhere from University of Delaware, Division I's, 2s, 3s, JUCOs. We really pride ourselves on making sure our kids go on to college. That's our main goal, is to get them up to whatever level they would like to play at, and then help them along the way to get them into college.
About how many AAU teams are there in the state of Delaware?
Girls programs, there's probably about 4. Upstate, I don't know as many. Downstate, there's not as many. There's maybe 1 or 2. There's about 4 upstate. And boys, there's a lot.
Because I was listening to the Times, and I know that the high school basketball season starts in November and ends January-ish, February-ish, and then it starts over again. So they're playing pretty much year-round. So they play for their own high school team, and then they come and join or try out. And I'm guessing you play the same 4 teams as well in the state of Delaware, or do you play mostly out of state?
We mostly play out of state. We don't usually play too many Delaware teams unless we get paired up at an out of state tournament. Sometimes we'll scrimmage and things like that, but we don't play each other too much. We have age groups from 5th and 6th grade all the way up to 11th in our program. So they start pretty young. The younger girls don't go as long as the older girls. There's the older girls, it's really important for them to play during their exposure periods, which are a weekend in April and then 3 weeks in July. So those are the times that they get to play in front of Division I coaches. So
How young does it
everything else
start?
they're building up towards.
How young does it start? Because you said older and younger. So
Our fifth and
AAU
sixth-
starts 5th grade?
AAU starts really at, third, fourth grade they can play. This is our first year doing an age group that young. We really focused on, like Dr. Axe said, when we first started, it was a major teen program at our Boys and Girls Club. It was a way to get our teens involved in our club and doing other activities as well. We try to loop in a lot of character and leadership development, some academic work, SAT prep. We have tutors available at the Boys and Girls Club, and we try to make it a really a full program that helps enhance the girls in multiple ways, not just athletics.
Since I know,
Well, Boys and Girls Club has been
well,
excellent
obviously
over
it's
the years. We've had them on every year.
well,
And,
it's my favorite organization. I believe in what they believe. Let's not have to rehabilitate. Let's just keep them on the straight and narrow and give them something to do that's positive. All right, so that's your role for the Sharks. You explained a little bit about AAU. How did you get to travel all these places? Where do you get your money? I mean,
That's
how
the
did
biggest
that,
question I had right there.
Because a lot of these young ladies don't have the resources to be
Right.
able to go out and ask mom and dad for it.
Yeah, we when we first began, it was the kids hardly paid anything. We fundraised it all, and we didn't travel as much. We would do maybe one bigger trip and a lot of locals, a lot of Philadelphia area, those types of things. As we've expanded through the years, our budget has gotten a lot larger. We fundraise a lot more. We have more teams. So we've pretty much fundraised all year round. We've done every kind of fundraiser you can imagine. And our kids also our parents do pay a fee as well. It is an investment that they're making in their kids. And we have a parents meeting at the beginning of the year, and I tell them in the parents meeting what it's going to entail, but then I also give them what we will do for them. We make sure that our girls go to college, and we help them along the way with everything from filling out the FAFSA to making sure that it's the right fit for their kid, the right level. And all of our kids go to different levels wherever is the best fit for them. So we really try to help find the right fit for everybody.
Sure. So what's the expense for each of these athletes? What's your budget?
Well, we spend for about 4 teams about $30,000. And that covers uniforms, travel gear, some travel expenses, tournament fees. That's the biggest thing. It costs a lot of money for us to put a team into a tournament. And
What's it cost?
For a regular tournament, meaning not an exposure time, it's about between $400 and $500. For an exposure time, which is your weekend in April and in July as well, it could be upwards to $1,000 to $1,200 for one team for a weekend or 5 or 6 games. It goes up. It's more expensive when the college coaches are allowed.
Explain out there. What's an exposure time? I'm guessing it's where there's going to be definite college coaches
yes.
and.
Yep. It's when the college coaches, the Division I's is the big pool. They can recruit during those exposure times. Division IIs and IIIs are a little bit different. Sometimes they can come out to other tournaments, but the live period, exposure period in April and in July for the girls are the only times that Division I's outside of the high school season can come and see the kids. So because it's such a big business for colleges, they want to see the girls as many times as possible in as many different situations as possible, to really evaluate, because we're talking big money, 20, 30.
Do you film your games?
Yeah, we film our games. We send out film on the girls. We upload to YouTube and send links out. A lot of my job is promoting and selling the girls to these college coaches. It's a lot of getting their names out there, making sure the college coaches know where we're playing, when we're playing, who we're playing. It's a lot of marketing the girls to
Well, it's well
the
worth
right
the
coach.
parents' money then.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's well worth it. So.
All right, so I'm going to go to Benasia Mojica. She has the laryngitis, and we're going to let her kind of go. I'm going to give her background. She's 11th grader, a 12th grader, 12th grader at McCain. She was part of this championship team. Where are you looking at universities, college and universities? What would you like to play?
I would rather stay local, I guess.
Okay, so you have your choice. What level would you play? The Delaware level or the Wesley level? Where would you like to play?
My goal is to get a Delaware level, but either way is good.
You just want to play?
Yes.
You want to play. I'm going to leave you a little bit off the hook, honey, just because of the fact that you do have that laryngitis. She represents McCain, so these are her school colors. So for the Sharks, so she feels pretty comfortable, I'm sure. One of our early signers to Northeastern University is Jaslyn Denkins. Jaslyn's from William Penn, and she's also a senior. And on her left from Middletown High is Allison Schwantz. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I did, okay. Dr. Straight, go.
I want to know what positions they play. So I'm just guessing
She's
from
a
high
4
school,
or 5,
Yes.
okay, all right.
from high school to AAU, so the transition. So at the AAU level, my understanding is most of the people are all-stars. So when you play with someone who's better, it just seems like you either play a different position sometimes because you have to, and you know the pool's a little bit bigger of talent. But we'll go to you, Jazz. So tell me, what position you play in high school? What do you
high
play for your
school-
AAU team, and then how does it kind of go back and forth?
For high school, I kind of play all positions because of certain people on our team, so I'm well-rounded. But for AAU, I play the 2, the 3, and sometimes the 4.
How tall are you?
5'9".
And what's your vertical jump, do you know?
No.
You know, that's amazing. It was one of those statistics that I can ask a baseball player how fast they throw. Most pitchers know how fast they threw. In the past, they don't know. But when Amber was in college, they used to have this thing that they have to jump up and hit the point, and she knew exactly how high her vertical jump was. Kind of gotten away from that lately, Coach, that doesn't become a critical element, but I do think it's an important consideration, particularly for someone like yourself. Like, you're 5'9", at the next level at Northeastern, you're going to be either a 2 or a small 3.
Yes.
I would think. So you better make the 3 or you're not going to be playing much.
Jasmine likes a 3, so that's not a problem.
So okay, what would you here on your high school team, if you were surrounded with girls that like the AAU team, where do you think you would play? What position?
The 3.
You'd be a 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Doc?
tell me the differences. I mean, and I'm not.
Well, that's
I know
okay.
it's hard, but when you have everybody else in high school, when you're the better player, you're looked upon to score. You're looked upon to make all the shots, to be the person that has the ball down to the end of the game. When you have 12 other girls on your team that are just as good or comparable, what's it like? That difference between having to give the ball up at the end of the game.
I feel like for me, it's better because then I don't have to do everything myself. I have other people around me that I can depend on. So.
What you like most is that they can't double team you nearly as much at the AAU level as they can. You know, we were kidding about this, and I will make reference to another AAU champion. That was Elena Deladon. I don't think her team went all the way and won the nationals. They did win the nationals. They're okay. And she's enjoying the pros. The major reason why is they don't double team her or triple team her or quadruple team. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that same type of activity. Allison, what do you play? Which position?
Mainly the 3 and the 4.
3 and the 4. And you two are, who's the highest jumper on the team?
Her.
Okay, so Jasmine is the highest jumper. We're going to go to a break on that. We'll come back to round 2 with this particular group of AAU Sharks right after this. Please stay tuned.
I will keep dancing on point, even if it hurts.
My arm is killing me. I don't know if I can pitch another ball. But I'll just play through the pain anyway.
I have to do the big stunts. To look better than the other cheerleaders. Our tosses are bigger.
My elbow really aches, but I got to eat better.
Don't tell them it hurts. It'll take you out of the game if you do. I have to push harder if I'm going to get a scholarship. I'm feeling dizzy, but I don't want to tell anyone.
Everyone's counting on me. I can't rest now.
Nearly 50% of all sports injuries sustained by middle and high school students are from overuse. Don't play through the pain. See your healthcare provider and follow their instructions for rest and recovery. Take the pledge. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit stopsportsinjuries.org.
Go team!
Hey, welcome back to segment 2 of Youth in Sports. We have the AAU National Champion 11th grade basketball team, the Sharks, with their head coach Amber Hickman and 3 of their senior athletes. On her right is Benasia Mahica. Sitting behind Benasia is Jaslyn Denkins, and on her left is Allison Swant. Welcome back, ladies.
Thanks.
Okay, so I left on the break. They fundraise, and their budget's $30,000 for 4 teams. They take them all over the country, and they get them exposed to a bunch of coaches in different aspects of their game, and hopefully the coaches will find a place for them, whether they need a 1, 2, 3, 4, and everybody wants a big 5. I don't see any 5s here in this group, but there's a lot of individuals, except for the coach. She looks like she's a 5, but and we're talking about the position they play on the court, not particularly anything else. So, Benasia, what was your favorite fundraiser to help generate this income for you to go off and be exposed?
My favorite one was the car wash.
The car wash.
Yeah.
I like the car. Did people respond to you?
Yes.
When did you have it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In the spring.
In the spring?
This past spring, so in like the April time,
Yeah.
Aprilish. And how many people did you guys get to show up?
We probably had about 50 or so cars.
Was
Good.
it?
That was
did
just the
somebody just
corporate
donate
board.
their spot? I was going to say.
Oh, we do it at the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh,
We have a
great!
perfect
So out in the park.
location right
That's
off of
great.
Route 40. The girls can hold signs up right there. We've got the water, so. it's
What'd you
perfect.
charge per car wash?
We do a suggested donation
Of?
about $10.
$10 is a win. You can't beat it. This thing, you don't
Can't
even
go
get
anywhere.
dirty for $10.
You can't-
That's great. All right, so Jaslyn, what was your favorite?
Mine was the Zumbathon.
Zumbathon,
Yes.
okay. Can any of you girls Zumba? Any good?
No, not really.
Not really? Did they have like a coach come in?
Yes.
They did. How's the coach over here? Can she
I just-
Zumba, huh? Can she Zumba?
I just want to know,
Dance much.
did any men show up?
There was an instructor.
Yeah, the instructor was there. One of the instructors were
You
me.
mean Mr. Kapansky didn't come out and Zumba?
No.
He's our director of the Boys and Girls Club. So, or Mrs. Carper, the senator's wife. She's on our board and is the president, I think, so of our board until she decides she doesn't want to be it. And then I think that we'll probably have the governor's wife be the head.
All right,
Okay.
Allison. What did you like? What was your favorite?
Mine would have to be tagging.
So I ask about
I
that.
wanna
So
find
is
out
it
what that
tag
is.
you're it, or what is tagging?
You like stand. We usually do it outside of Kmart, and basically you're just asking for money and promoting your team name.
What was the hardest question that you were asked when you were bitten tagged? Nothing in particular?
They don't really ask questions usually.
Okay. And Amber, you were sharing with us a story, though, about while you were fundraising, one of the ladies, or I'm not sure if it was a lady, but a family member made a comment.
One of the reasons why we do tag it, we tag in our community so that people can see the kids doing positive things. And they do, there's some dialogue back and forth. Where are you guys from? Where do you guys go? And the girls have an opportunity to tell them what they're doing and why they're doing it and why they're asking, for their change and whatnot. And there was one time that we were tagging down in Governor Square, and a gentleman came up and said, about 10 years ago, my kids were in Boys and Girls Clubs, and they really changed their lives. And, my kids are better because of it. And he wrote us a check for $500 just standing right there. And so that's types of things that, are the giving back to the community and showing up in the community and showing our faces and having the girls doing positive things. We do community service projects as well. So that they can learn how to give back as well. So,
Do you guys at practice have how many straight free throws you can get? I mean, do you have that? What's your favorite drill for? What's Amber Hickman's favorite drill? Okay, for basketball. Which one's you? Which one is
like
your
drills that the kids like. So,
I'm going to ask you guys are going to get the vote on this now. Okay, she's going to give me 3 drills, and you guys are going to give me thumbs up or thumbs down.
they like a 3-man weave type full court drill that leads
Thumbs up
into
or thumbs down?
that
Okay,
leads
thumbs up.
into their 3-on-2, 2-on-1 breaks,
Okay.
which they love. Those are their favorite drills.
Yeah.
I like 5-ball, which gets everybody active on the court. 5 balls going at the
5-ball?
same time.
Yeah.
All right.
They like that. I like drills that keep kids moving.
How
Not a
long's
lot of
practice?
standing. 2 hours.
2 hours. What time of night?
About 6 to 8 or 7 to 9.
Days of the week?
2 days of the week, sometimes a
I was
third on
just-
Sunday. So that's the biggest difference between us and high school.
That was what I was going to
The
ask.
high school coaches get 6 days a week, 2 hours a day.
You get them after the high school coach just had them for the last 12 weeks, though. So you got it's a little different now. You got them in shape. Okay, so they're already in shape, or they got out of shape, depending on how their team did in the playoffs. they had about a month to get out of shape.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I always wondered this because they keep playing. And high school, I don't know exactly how many games, but you know, there's a certain amount. And then AAU, I think there's actually more, correct?
Yeah, we play more games than the high school season. We play weekends, so you're playing 2 games on a Saturday, 2 games on a Sunday. That's at a regular
6 or 8 minute
tournament.
quarters.
We play halves.
Okay, what are you playing?
20-minute halves.
20-minute halves? So you're playing college? You're playing college?
16 to 20 minutes, depending on the tournament rules. AAU rules at nationals, sometimes they go to quarters. In that situation for regional and nationals, we'll go 8-minute quarters, so just like a high school game.
Running clock or?
Stop clock.
Stop clock.
Yep.
That's what I was wondering is the overuse issues that just how many minutes you guys are playing. You play your high school season, then you go over and you play your AAU. And it sounds like the AAU there's more games.
A lot. We do try to, our older girls, we try to, I don't want to say limit, but we try to space it out. Everything is working up to really that 1 weekend in April, so that's right afterwards, and then it's all working up to July. So it's kind of a balance. We don't go to as many tournaments as the younger girls because we want to make sure that they're at their tip-top shape, tip-top speed by July. We had an injury this year in April at one of our exposure tournaments. We had a broken foot on one of our main players, and she sat out for the full, what was it, two months, almost 3, up until July. We didn't bring her back until then, even though she could have probably went a couple weeks early. We waited because
you knew.
Yeah, it just.
All right.
How many games you guys play a year, Allison? Start. How many do you think you play? I'm talking total.
Oh my gosh.
I
well, 20 high school plus the playoffs.
60 to 80?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
It has to be between 60 and 80.
It has to be more than that.
It gotta be more than that.
It's more than that.
And then some of our girls, like these girls only played one age group, but the next girls that are coming on in the next segment, a lot of them play for our 10th grade team, and then they double up and play for our 11th grade team as well. Wow. So, but when you have 10 to 12 girls on a team, which we try to carry, we can space it out. And these kids, it's hard to keep them off the court.
So how many minutes were you shooting for per athlete? Do you play your entire team?
I play my whole entire team. When we were at nationals, everybody plays. Obviously, some are going to get a little more than others in situations, but the big reason why we won the national championship is because I had all starters. So all the girls on my team started on their high school teams. So there was no let off. There was no drop off when somebody got in foul trouble. She got in foul trouble in the national championship game, and you know, we were okay because the girls were prepared. They were ready to.
All right, so you win it on a buzzer beater.
We did.
Okay, so Jaslyn, you know, take us, do the play-by-play. You're doing commentary, all right? So tell me, how many seconds on the? Okay, there's a timeout. Coach calls a timeout, right?
There was a timeout.
All right, it has to be. I don't know this. I'm kind of ad-libbing as we go, but I've done that before. All right, so there's a timeout. How much on the clock?
2 seconds.
Oh, geez.
2 seconds.
What's so what's the score? You're down how much?
We're tied.
Tied. Okay.
So the worst that's going to happen if you don't get the shot off is you're going into OT.
Yes.
All right. So give it to me.
Okay. So we ran a box with one person taking it out, and the play was supposed to go. The 2 people at the top the 2 people at the bottom were supposed to screen for the 2 people at the top. But the girl one of our girls that was throwing it in didn't want to go into overtime. So she told one of our other players, like, go this way and hope you're open and I'm going to get it to you. And like she like ran like kind of like I guess like a screen and went the opposite way. And like somehow she got her the ball and she just like fumbled and threw it up and it just happened to go in.
Oh, that's so dramatic. Okay.
And to add drama to it, she did explain it very well. And some of them did run the play as designed. Jaslyn was one of them. She ran it excellent. I had Macy Robinson taking the ball out of bounds. She's our smartest player. She's not with us today from St. Elizabeth. I knew that she would find the right person. She found Emma Matthews from Padua, and Emma squared those shoulders, and the ball went through. But Emma had just gotten off a flight back from Delaware. She had to fly home the day before for her brother's wedding. So we had to win 2 games without Emma, who's a starter, and our second leading scorer, sometimes first, her and Jaslyn flip-flop. We won 2 games on Friday without her. Her parents flew her back. Oh, the whole family flew back after the wedding. She hadn't ate anything. She got off the plane, came straight to the gym, and had 19 points with the game winner. So.
What'd it feel like? What's it like?
How
many people were there?
Well,
That's a lot.
At the
was a
game?
lot.
Yeah,
A
the game.
lot.
Well, what's a lot
minutes
mean to you? I mean, the bobblehead's 4,500. That's a lot.
No, not that.
No, but
I
I'm
want
just,
to
I'm just
say
trying
like
to.
maybe 100, maybe 2.
Where is it? Is it
It's
always
at-
in the same spot?
Yes,
Is it like a
it's
set?
AAU has their own facility in Orlando. It's the
great.
Worldwide of Sports Complex. They have, I think it's 4 to 6 courts in one gym, and then in the other gym, which is all in the same complex, they have another 6 courts. So the championship game, it happened. There's all sorts of sports going on at the same time. Track and field was going on. We had a team from West End who we're friends with was actually competing. Well, it started raining, so they all came in and were there cheering us on. And actually, a couple of our younger kids who play AAU for us run track for them, so they got to see the older girls win the national championship. So we had a pretty good cheering section. The commentary on the video one of our parents did is classic. You know, we
Can
get
people
his,
see that video? Do you guys have a
Yes,
website where they can go and see the video?
It's on YouTube as well. So if you just put in national championship AAU, it kind of pops
All right,
up,
so were you tired of people asking you where Delaware was? Okay, where geographically?
Yes.
Okay. What? It's a city. What state's it in? How many people ask you what state Delaware was in? Okay, and you said, well, we're between Philadelphia and Baltimore, and they still had no clue. The geography of where we're from is always an interesting thing. We have a few
Before we go to
seconds.
break
Yeah.
and switch to ladies, I just want to know, we already know that you're already signed at a school, but how about, Allison, are you planning on going to college, playing ball in college?
I just got accepted to Wesley yesterday, actually. and
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
They have a lot of different programs that are a lot of fun to be there. What would you like to study? You have any idea?
I want to be a nurse.
It's a wonderful program. They have a great with Bay Health. They have a wonderful relationship with them. In fact, thank you, Bay Health, for giving Wesley, I thought, $1 million for their nursing program. You have that brand new mall that's going to be finished there that they can walk on. That's another nice added feature for the city of Dover in trying to make it a safer environment for the young ladies to go there. But Asia, where would you like to go? Where would you like to go to school? You said you like Delaware Lake, but what if you had your choice?
I think I'll go with Manhattan State. Manhattan State University.
Manhattan State?
Yeah.
Now, where is that located?
New York.
It is in New York
Oh,
City.
now she wants to go away.
Yeah, well,
I like it. All right.
That's kind of a good place to go. Manhattan, New York is kind of like a foreign country, though. But we'll go to a break and come back after this with 4 more athletes on this championship AAU Sharks basketball team.
What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means providing a personalized educational experience where students learn anywhere at any time. Wilmington University provides a variety of ways to complete your degree. Choose the flexibility of online learning, or attend classes during the day, in the evening, or on weekends at locations throughout the region. It's your degree. Choose how you earn it. Personalized education, affordable tuition. That's the difference at Wilmington University. What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means finding an innovative degree program that fits your goals and prepares you for a successful career. It means finding a school that fits your life. We know the importance of providing individual attention, affordable tuition, and unparalleled flexibility in service. Because at Wilmington University, it's not about meeting your expectations, it's about exceeding them. Personalized education, affordable tuition, that's the difference at Wilmington University.
Welcome back to Youth in Sports for segment 3 with the Boys and Girls Club's AAU Sharks, the 11th grade national champions. And on this particular segment, we have both, we have some 11th graders, but they were 10th graders at the time of the championship. Coach Hickman has brought on her 10th, now 11th graders. On her right is Trinae Triplett. She's at Wilmington Christian, where she's currently a junior. On her right is Sally Rice, also at Wilmington Christian, who's their center. Sitting behind Sally and Trinae is Kaasia Stanford, who's at Caravel Academy, and on her left is Ariana Fleming from Hudson-Vo Tech, where she's in information technology.
Welcome, ladies.
Hello. Thank you.
And it's the Lady Sharks.
It's the Lady Sharks.
I saw that look. It's the Lady Sharks. Is the male team called the Sharks as well, or are they different?
We used to have a male Sharks team, and then they went on, and we kind of formed a new name. So our boys are Delaware AIM, which is Achievers in Motion. It doesn't make much sense, but
that's okay.
as far
I
as we're the
mean,
Sharks.
you know, I don't mess with Sharks, period, whether they're ladies or men, so I try to stay. So I'm going to do a little bit different in this segment. We're going to have you talk a little bit about each of the players that are on this particular, and I couldn't help when we were waiting to go on back into segment 3. Trinae was kidding about, and I asked Coach if that was her comedian, if that was the person who picked the team up when they were down, the lighthearted one, and she said that she certainly would be in the running for that. So why don't you talk to me about the 4 athletes that you have right now. Give me a little bio on their game and why they're important to you as an underling on a senior-laden team that won a national championship.
Well, these girls that we have here, you know, you need everybody on the team. You need your starters, but a lot of people have really good starters. Not every team has good kids coming off the bench, and that's really what did it for us. Our bench players coming in and the level of play not changing up one bit. And my juniors, this group here, worked really hard all year long, playing a lot of games to prepare themselves and be ready for the Nationals. They knew they would come up and play with us. We have some vet players. Trinae sitting next to me is one of our newer players to the game. When I say new, meaning the last 3 or 4 years she's been playing, which isn't a long time in you know, high school sports. She's come a long way from where she started.
Well, she's not burned out.
She's definitely not burned out. She's our 3/4. She's improved a lot this year. She's really stepped into a more of a scoring role this year, and she's turned the eye of a lot of coaches. She's had a big summer. Coaches like her body size, and they like her work ethic. So she's our, like I said, she's our 3 and our 4. She has a nice outside jump shot, but she can take it in low. She can put post move on somebody. You don't really want to run into her. She's not as tall, but she's really strong and solid in the post. And she's a leader. She's really become into a leadership role.
Coach, you only get a minute.
Okay, that's off on Trinae. Next is Sally. Sally's her teammate at Wilmington Christian, and she's another newbie. And Sally got our most improved player this year. She, again, played a lot on the 10th grade team and stepped up in the 11th grade team as well. So we're looking for her to do great things in the next upcoming year and at Wilmington Christian and continue to improve.
And you said she was the center, and I know that I was laughing. How tall are you, young lady?
5'10".
Oh, okay.
Yep, she can rebound. There's not too many girls that we see that are that much bigger. And she has Trinae backing her up with a little bit of girth, so.
Well, the Wilmington Christian's going to have a good little team this year, it sounds like.
Yes, they should be decent. And then we have Kaasia back here, who is our point guard, one of our 2, well, we really have 3 point guards that can really play the 1 or the 2, which makes us a little special. Kaasia has been with us probably the longest, along with Jaslyn. They've been with our program since she was about 8 or so.
If you have that many point guards, that means that teams can't press you.
Nah, they can't press us. And Kaasia and Ariana both specialize on defense as well. So they're my spark plugs. I bring them off the bench, or I can start them depending on who we're going against. Ariana is also a point guard who's sitting right behind me. Ariana will go in and get a steal off of anybody. Doesn't matter what point in time of the game. Both of them are my spark plugs, and they really were our secret weapons all year long.
So how many minutes will Ariana play?
Ariana.
You're playing 20-minute halves.
Yeah.
So you're playing 40 minutes, which is 8 minutes longer than a high school game.
They'll probably both play about 20 minutes.
Okay, so they'll play a half.
Yeah.
How many fouls will Ariana have in the course of that?
I don't think she fouled out of too many games.
Okay.
She
Because when you're going for the steal, depending on, I'm just sharing with you, the better stealer you are, the fewer fouls you have.
But I'm guessing she plays up in your face defense. She's
very aggressive on the ball, and what she doesn't get, Kaasia scoops up. So
does she talk? Does she talk when she's playing defense?
Yeah.
You talk a little smack, do you?
Just a hand clapper. Just enough.
Just enough. That's their team.
Yep. So that's
Okay,
my
all
girls.
right.
And now, I just want, so everybody understands, this is both 10th grade and 11th grade teams. So they play both teams.
Yes. These girls
So they play their high
probably
school and
the
then both teams.
Yes. And sometimes it just depends. Sometimes we'll pull one up in certain situations and one up in others. So we're not, wearing them down too much.
So it's almost like a farm club. I joke.
Yeah.
The D League for the NBA, where you actually can go up and down in a sense, and you can use people from different.
But they only
teams.
play one fee. One fee
Correct.
for this for
Yes.
all the exposure.
Yes.
So you guys get double exposure.
Do you guys all practice together, or do you practice as a 10th grade team and 11th grade team, or is it kind of together?
We practice together. The high school age groups practice together. It just makes for better scrimmages. Then we all know the same plays. We can interchange them easier. The girls are comfortable with each other. And it makes for a nice, like for next year, I lose my seniors, and now I have a good core group to build off of.
That already knows
That
your
already know
system,
it.
and
Correct.
that's excellent.
I'm going to go to Trinae first. Okay, you've just finished your high school season. You're early in your career, your third or fourth year of playing. What was different about being coached in high school and compared to AAU? How was the difference?
It's not really a difference because her dad is our high school coach.
I did know that. I did know that. But still, you have two different. Does her dad coach at all with the AAU? Does he?
Yeah, he's an AAU coach, but not for us because you can't coach your girls in AAU season.
That is the right answer, by the way, guys. Okay. So, but that's certainly. So, do you notice a lot of resemblances between how dad coaches his drills and what you had in AAU? Is it a family thing you think gone or there with their similarities or not?
Be careful, the season's coming quickly. She has him next. So.
I know.
Yeah, they're kind of the same. It's not really a difference.
I got you. What's the weakest part of your game? What do you need to work on?
My ball handling skills.
Okay. How's your free throws?
They're pretty good. I mean.
What do you shoot? 70, 80%?
Yeah, about around there.
Are you one of those people that always dribbles 5 times before you put it in your hand to shoot?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Some
funny.
kind of superstition that
thing,
works,
yeah,
right?
that actually works.
Shoot the ball.
Yeah.
How about you, Sal? What's your best part of your game? Being a
Probably
center, 5'10", defense.
Yeah.
Block shots or rebounds?
Both.
You got an open shot, you're going to take it?
I usually pass it to Trinae.
So
well,
what you
maybe
say is
that
you
part
like
of your
to get-
game you should change because
Yes.
you keep passing it to Trinae, they're going to cover Trinae and they're going to leave you open, okay?
So you work most of the paint, you get the ball off the board and put it back up. That's where you
Yes.
get your points.
Yes.
Right.
So you're going into your senior season, no, your junior
Junior.
season, your junior season, okay. So what will you do this year with Wilmington Christian? You were a starter last year as well?
No, I was actually a sub.
You were a sub. So this year you're looking to step up and play more,
Yes.
more minutes. Okay. In an environment, how many young ladies will go out for the team at Wilmington Christian? Will you have enough? We have enough players?
Well, we'll have enough for a varsity team. JV might be a little bit short
Because you only have 30 in your class, right? How
No,
many-
we have 60 in our class.
60? Okay, I stand corrected. 60 kids. How many are girls?
About
About half, yeah.
30 in your class. 30 girls
Yeah,
to choose
sorry,
from.
yeah.
No, I'm good. No, I'm just that was what I was
Do you
saying.
find that your game has gotten better playing in the AAU versus in high school? That's one of the-
Definitely, definitely.
And has it, when I say exponentially, where you slowly get better in high school because you're playing against a certain level and practicing against a certain level is actually not just playing but practicing. When you're practicing against these other girls who are all doing very well with their other teams, it probably helps your game a lot. Have you
Yes,
learned things
definitely.
from the other girls?
Just watching them, I learned stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Have you had to play against any of your AAU teammates in high school yet?
Oh.
Well, we're going to play against a lot of people, yeah.
This year. This will be,
year coming
okay,
up,
how about
yeah.
last year?
Well, I didn't do AAU last year. So.
Okay, so you're just getting in. Let's come back to Trinae then.
So 1 year, 1 national championship?
That's right. Not bad.
So who will you face up early in the season? Which of your AAU teammates will you play against first? Do you know?
I really don't think we play any of the people from our team here.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think
don't
we
think-
play Caravel. I think that's the only team, I think.
Okay.
So you're going to get after her a little bit in high school? I do believe you play at Caravel, correct? Huh? So she says she thinks she's playing you. You gonna take it to her a little bit?
Yeah, definitely.
Is there a little? I was going to say.
All right, so she knows the weak part of your game, and you know the weak part of her game, right? Because you've been playing with each other, okay? Do you tell your teammates or not tell your teammates? Or do you keep it to yourself?
I do. But at the time, yes, they're still my teammates, so, and I want to win, so.
I don't doubt that a bit.
And this is putting you on the spot, and I'm coming after. I'm sorry, I feel bad now because you're the one. But what's more important? And I can ask you all guys: is the AAU team more important than the high school? And when I say more important, I know always winning, but from you guys moving on to a higher level, what do you guys see as more important?
I would say AAU because it gets you more exposure.
That's probably the truth. I mean, I'm guessing that you get, by traveling around, you see more people. And then in Delaware, playing basketball in Delaware, there's probably less unless they're coming to see one specific person.
But I will say they both are equally important. A lot of times people put the AAU coaches against the high school coaches. We try to work with each other. It's equally important to do well on their high school teams, to play well, to improve, because college coaches are coming there. Once they see them in AAU, they're coming to their high school games to watch as well. So we need each other.
Well, I think
they
the
need both
year-long
seasons.
helps, and I think the high school coaches like that they're playing year-long. I mean, I do understand when they get injured and that's a problem.
There's two issues that come to pass. One is injury, and the second one is burnout. They'd like the fact that Trinae has only played 3 to 4 years, and they also look upon her as a diamond in the rough. If someone has played for 10 years, their game, if it hasn't gotten better, probably isn't going to get better. But if they've only played 3 or 4 years and they see, well, that she doesn't have quite the drop steps, because as much as now, it's nice having a coach like Amber who played the same position you do to coach you with the techniques. That she's going to coach Ariana. That the coach isn't going to help you a whole lot with your game as far as going in there and boxing out and stuff. It was a different deal on what was happening. We're going to get 30 seconds, and you guys are going to stay on for that next segment anyway. But Ariana, what do you think for Hodson's team this year? It's going to be a contender again?
Yes, we still have our same people from last year.
So are you going to be picked in the top 5? Who do you think is going to be the team to beat outside the Catholic Conference?
Sanford or Caravel.
They're always pretty tough. Okay, we're going to go to a break and come back right after this, and everybody knows high school basketball is Catholic basketball.
I know they never make me play with these guys, but why do they make me train like them?
Training hard is important, and for professional athletes, it's their job. But kids aren't professionals and shouldn't train at that level. Keep kids safe on the playing field and out of the operating room. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
Welcome back to Youth in Sports with segment 4 of the AAU National Champion 11th grade basketball team, the Boys and Girls Club Lady Sharks from the Greater Newark Club, but with their head coach, Amber Hickman-Taylor. We were talking with this 10th grade, now 11th grade group of athletes that are going on, and we were just talking briefly in the last segment about what we expect this year from high school basketball. We talked with Ariana Fleming, who's an information technology major or a career path down at Hodson Votech. Said that the Hodson team is back with most of their players. We have a representative, Keisha Stanford from Caravel. They're always a powerhouse, always coached well, and they're going to be into the final segments, the final 8 of high school sports. And then we have Trinae Triplett and Sally Rice representing Wilmington Christian, who think that this is going to be their run to challenge Caravel Hodson and the Catholic Conference for who's going to dominate in that particular phase of basketball. Is that a pretty good paraphrase, you think?
Yeah.
We did okay with that? All right. All right, so let's coach. You've talked about them as players. Let's talk about what you would like them. Their high school coaches are going to have them. Your dad's going to have the two ladies on your right for another season. When you finish the AAU season with a national championship, it's hard to sit down and say, this is what I'd like you to improve for next year. What part of your games? Do the college coaches come to you and say, I'd like to see this individual improve a particular game, or are you asked to do that on your own?
They're very upfront. They'll tell you what they need to see from the kids. I need to see them playing better defense. I need to see their on-ball defense or their help. I need to see them develop their three-point shot or whatever it is. They're very upfront and honest about what they need to see from kids, especially at this age group, the junior age group, because they want to see improvement from this past summer to next summer when it's really down to business and they're offering scholarships and whatnot. So, and most of the girls know. I mean, they have a pretty good self-evaluation of what they need to work on, and they're workhorses. These girls I have here, they're in the gym, and they're working hard on whatever their weakness is so that it won't be a weakness next year.
How much dealing do you have to deal with college coaches?
A lot.
I'm just wondering.
So give us a day.
Yeah.
Give us a July, the second come out, not the first weekend.
Yeah.
The second one after before the third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
July is intense. It's lots of phone calls. Sometimes you can't even keep up with returning them because you're on the phone with somebody else, and there's voicemails. It's a lot of emailing back and forth. Probably with this past summer, about 10 coaches a day, trying to talk to voice-wise, and another 10 to 15 through email. Each girl has their own set of coaches that they're getting recruited by, so it's making sure you're managing all of them fairly. I mean, last year we have 9 seniors from the year before that are freshmen now in college, and that was insane. I have 7 of those kids playing college basketball now, so that was a lot, and just making sure you're evenly dispersing your time.
Tell me this: do you actually have to sit? Because I mean, I understand you work for the Boys and Girls Club, but do you actually sit down with the parents and the student athlete and actually have to go over? I mean, I hear this about football a lot of times where the coach is sitting with the family and making decisions. And do you have to do this on a
I do that.
9 kids a year?
I do. I do a lot of trips with them. Trinae and I are actually going to the Naval Academy on Sunday. I do visits with them. I sit in offices with the head coaches when they're getting offers, just to make sure that they ask all the questions that they need to ask, that they are informed as possible, because a lot of my parents, it's their first time around, and they want to make sure there's no loopholes. You know, sometimes you hear this word full ride tossed around a lot, and they want to make sure it truly is a full ride, and if it's not, how can we package it? A lot of my D2 and 3s, we have to package it together with academics, scholarships, so it gets a little more difficult. My kids that go D1 are easy because it's just athletic money, and they get everything, so it's easy. My kids that go D2 and 3, it gets a little more tricky, and it's a lot more work on my end to make sure they're packaged properly and they don't have to pay.
Wow.
So we get back to you have the college coaches contacting you, and how do they try to work you? You know, because you're now in a position, you've taken on, I talked to the football coaches, and they have their way. They want to get to grandma, they want to get to the other, they find that identifier. I know there's been a couple athletes that I've taken care of that went on to be major college football players, and I was the team physician for their schools, and the recruiters actually came to me and wanted to talk to me about them as players because I was a player. Give us an interesting interaction that you've had with a coach where, not the coach specifically, specific's a really hard word to say, not the coach specifically, but the situation that sometimes you could be put in that's not comfortable.
With one of our athletes that was recently getting recruited, a lot of times with the hometown schools, they'll really try to push you in one direction. I think they kind of have a leg up because it's a hometown school.
They either do or they don't. It's either a good thing or a bad thing.
Right, so they'll kind of try to get you on their side as far as pushing the hometown aspect of the school. I mean, I've had, 2-3 kids, 3 girls recently at Delaware, and all the pros of staying home, and we've seen that, and there definitely are a lot of great
there's a lot of pros of staying home, particularly the Delaware program. Yes, I'm biased.
But then there's kids that really want to go away.
Yeah, and I mean, in Jasmine's situation, it came down to 2 great schools. One was closer to home, one was farther away.
How can you turn down Boston?
Exactly, and she fell in love when she went up there.
Oh,
and,
heavens, yes.
She's going to have a great career up there and a great experience up there, different from my kids who have stayed home. So it's.
You told us that 9 of the kids that you played that were seniors, and 7 of them are playing as freshmen.
Yes.
Why didn't the other 2 play?
They chose not to. They got academic scholarships, and they.
Could they have played at the universities where they went?
One could have. The other one probably couldn't have. But
okay,
she
well
chose,
that's an easy one then.
Yeah, but
it's easy to say that they
know.
were better than
Yeah.
People ask why I didn't go choose some of the bigger schools and I chose a small one. I said because I wanted to go to college. I wanted to graduate and I wanted to go to med school, and I knew that may not be possible.
Right.
In a certain environment.
That's good. It's good that the young ladies are able to make those decisions like
Right.
that for an education over just
And
the
I still help
athletics,
them along the way as far as
great.
making sure, with or without basketball, that
they're going to be one of your better coaches.
Exactly.
I'm going to get back to the young ladies. And
Please do. We are on the
Aisha,
last. Yep.
Tell me, what are you looking forward to for the high school season and AAU season? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to us to hopefully return to the championship for high school, as well as AAU. We all work hard and continue being a family. And yeah.
So do you see the AAU team being just as good as this 2013 championship team?
Well, if we work hard and stay together, then yes, we can.
You go to a very good school and you have a very good trainer. Who's your trainer down at Caravel that takes great care of you? Mr. Uhas, okay?
Yeah.
Mr. Uhas. He does a great job at Caravel Academy.
Ariana, I'm going to come back to you with the same question. I always like to know, you guys are playing so much basketball, but there's got to be something that makes you do it. What makes you do it? I mean, I understand you love the game, but is dad, mom, who was involved? Who got you into it?
Well, my cousin, he really got me involved. Seeing how he was going, I wanted to try it when I was little. So. Yeah.
Who was that? Who do you give credit to?
Isaac.
Your cousin Isaac? Is he older?
Yes.
Older. And where did he play? Is he from Delaware?
Yes, but he's going to Hawaii University.
Okay.
Great.
Well, that's the Rainbow Warriors. The Hawaii
They have a nice vacation spot.
Oh, it's I've not gone.
We'll supporting Isaac.
Dean, the Provost Apple was now the chancellor out at Hawaii. I haven't been out to see him yet, but that is on my list of things to do.
All right. You're the last one. I missed you, but tell me, anybody out there that made you do it, that wanted you to do it, that pushes you, outside of coaches?
Yeah, I would have to say my stepdad, Sean Brooks, because I used to be a cheerleader for 7 years, and I noticed that I was getting a little.
Good switch.
I noticed I was getting a little too big to be a cheerleader, and I had to use my body for something else. So he pushed me into playing
Well, how was that
basketball.
switch over? Because I'll tell you this, my 6-year-old daughter, I say this all the time on TV, is a cheerleader. She's a cheernastics, and I always say, oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, I always want. I'm a football, baseball player. I want my kid to play, a softball. But how did you switch over? I mean,
it was a hard switch over because the first year I played, I didn't even hit the rim with anything. So it took me.
How'd you not give up?
I don't know, 'cause I knew
that was such a big thing on your part to not get frustrated being behind like that. So what did you do? I'd love to hear the pep talk that you were given.
Who started you? I mean, was it grade school or was it middle school?
It was like 8th grade. I started in 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you start in 8th grade and you have this not good experience.
No.
And so how did you keep your positive attitude?
And I just kept it positive because I knew that everybody's not good as soon as you step into a different sport that you never played bure.
What a mature attitude.
And I don't
know that I'd have had that.
And that's nice because I think the athletic ability of her doing the cheerleading, which it just moved over, and it just learning how to play the sport, and your athletic ability takes over.
All right, what's your favorite music to play while you're practicing?
I mean, just music that gets me hyped up, I guess.
What, do you have a particular group? Do you get to choose the music? Who's choosing the music person? Go ahead, Coach.
There's a iPod approved by me, and that's the only iPod that goes on the speaker.
I understand. Does it have to do with the word selection?
Yes.
Did there anything that you wanted to share with the viewing audience about your team that we missed that we didn't ask you?
I'm just really proud of these girls. These girls are from all different high schools like you've seen, but they come together. And our program, we're like a family. These girls, they cheer for each other. They go to each other's high school games. If they're not playing against each other, they're rooting each other on. After games, they're hugs. They're going out to the movies afterwards. We're a family. We look out for each other. We take care of each other. And, you know, even on from here, they stay in touch with each other. And
all right, we're down to our last 30 seconds. How many young ladies have you coached on the AAU teams? What's your list? How many?
all together?
Sure. You have to have a running list.
I do. I mean, hundreds.
Sure.
Hundreds.
And how old's the oldest one right now?
The oldest just bought a house.
Okay. So they could be anywhere between 24 and 30.
About 25, 26.
Okay.
One of our other coaches is teaching now. It's a great thing when they come back and they're sharing their experiences with you, and they're
I'm going to take
great,
the
productive people.
last 15 seconds. This is the Boys and Girls Club. They represent the Boys and Girls Club, and Amber really represents the Boys and Girls Club. Well, it's a great organization. Your kids should be part of it. Keep them off the street. Do the things we do. Well over 2 million participant hours. It's a good time.
What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means finding your relevance in the job market. That's why we offer career-oriented degree programs that meet employment needs in emerging fields. Dedicated professors bring their real-world experience into the classroom so you'll graduate with the tools you need to succeed on the job. It's your degree. Make it relevant to your career. Personalized education, affordable tuition. That's the difference at Wilmington University.
This show was sponsored by ATI, the company taking physical therapy to a higher level throughout the country. First State Orthopedics, where Youth in Sports hosts Drs. Straight and Axe are members of the team taking care of Delaware with a commitment to excellence. And President Jack Barcelona and his Wilmington University College of Technology, where each semester this student-run program is produced, directed, edited, and distributed under the guidance of the TV production faculty. Each guest receives a copy of the show, and all shows are available on the web at youthinsports.com.